In this lesson, we're going to take a look at the new Save and Load Animation features in 3ds Max 8. We're going to take a look at first the Save Animation dialog, and in the next animation we'll do Load Animation dialog. So open the file animation_start.max, and you'll see these two characters, two rigs, and there are identical characters, but their names have been changed. We have the B and the A rig. Setting that aside, the rigs are identical. If we play back the animation, see that the character has some movement to him, a little animation of him waving his arm, something basic to get ourselves started. The new animation format that 3ds Max is using is XML based, which means that it's a very open format that can be edited with third-party tools. So we'll select the parts of the character that we want to save in the animation. This will allow you to build animation and an animation library from different parts of the character or whole character itself. So just select the entire character, and you can see the keyframes. We'll go to File, Save Animation. So what we're going to do is take a look at the parameters of this dialog. First, we're going to name our animation that we want to save. We'll name it Wave Arm. And I already have that file existing here, but that's the one we'll use. The file type is XAF, which is an XML file. And there's many parameters that we can adjust and set here upon saving our animation. First, we can set it to save only the animated tracks, which is good for basic transformations you want to save, but if you want to save the world positions of other objects that don't have any keyframes, you want to turn this off. This way the whole transforms are saved, not only the keyframe parts. In animated charts, we can change to include constraints or not to include the constraints. We can save only the keyable tracks, which is useful if a technical director has set certain tracks to be non-keyable, then those tracks will be ignored by the Save Animation dialog, which is really useful for generating smaller files with tracks that we don't actually need. We can also save just a segment of the animation, so in this case maybe we could save from frame 10 to 25, and that's the segment of the character animation that we'll save. From here we can say we want to save a key per frame, which will sample all the objects and set a key per frame for them. So we'll just turn those off. Down here in the bottom we have the user data area, and we can set custom attributes for our file. So if we wanted to set an attribute called version and give it a value of 1.0, we can enter that in and we get our attribute and its value. And you can put as many of these as you want, and once they're in here you can select it and just delete it out if you don't want that there anymore. So once you're done with that, you can just name your file and click on Save Motion. This will generate the XML file, and you can see a little progress bar at the bottom. And that's basically it. The animation is saved for all the objects you've selected, and now it's stored in that XML file, which you can be reusing later in 3D Studio Max.